Coming up on Cedar Valley Today's election special, students get the opportunity to vote before Election Day.
And international students share their thoughts on the election.
And Steph Bading is in studio to talk about social media and the election. This is Cedar Valley Today. Hello and welcome to Cedar Valley Today's election coverage special. I'm Kaylin Thompson.
And I'm Tyler Metcalf.
Today is the day people wait in line and cast their ballots to have their voices be heard. People did have the option of sending or handing in absentee ballots early.
Bremer County Auditor Shelley Wolf says 5,795 ballots were issued absentee. However, 269 of those haven't come back yet. Wolf says this number seems to be lower than 4 years ago.
I'm just kind of surprised that there wasn't more absentee voting. I kind of expected the absentee to be heavier because it's become more known and popular, but either people aren't going to vote or they're waiting for today. Maybe they couldn't make up their mind yet, or they just wanted that polling place experience.
People in Bremer County took advantage of the opportunity to submit their votes early. Cedar Valley Today's Alicia Elms has more on the story.
With so much going on in our busy world, many Wartburg College students opted out of voting on election night and instead chose to vote early. Early voting is popular around the country, but can be especially beneficial for Wartburg students. There's often much confusion about which location to vote at on Election Day because of the way the wards are divided for Waverly. Bremer County Auditor Shelley Wolf explains that the dorm students live in is what makes the difference.
Waverly is divided into 5 wards, and one of the ward divisions is 5th Avenue, which goes through Wartburg College. We need to know the dorm that people live in if they're a college resident so that we know which ward to put them in.
By requesting an absentee mail-in ballot, out-of-state students can vote from their home precinct without having to leave their dorms.
It's really beneficial for them if they wish to maintain their home county address or where their home residence is. It gives them the opportunity to vote without having to go back there. They can vote through the mail.
The other option to vote early was to go to a predetermined polling location and fill out the ballot then. The only difference is that students were required to register as Bremer County residents to fill out their ballots.
If you vote before Election Day, your ballot goes into an envelope, and then we have what's called an absentee board that comes in on Monday and Tuesday at election time, and they open all those envelopes and they put those envelopes through the tabulator to be counted and tallied.
Although handled differently, absentee ballots are still not tallied until election night. Reporting for Cedar Valley Today, I'm Alicia Ungs.
Mail-in absentee ballots received after the polls close had to be postmarked by yesterday's date and can arrive no later than noon this upcoming Monday to count.
Ever since the days of the Founding Fathers, the United States of America has been considered a two-party system. But when it comes to voting, there are more options than just Democrat and Republican. Most of the focus may be on Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, but there are other viable candidates to vote for. In a recent NBC News poll, Gary Johnson, the nominee for the Libertarian Party, polled at 6%. Green Party nominee Jill Stein polled at 2% in the same poll. You can also write in anyone of your choice. Tyler French, a Bernie Sanders supporter, explains why the write-in route was the best way for him to go.
You got to vote for who you want. And that's exactly what I did this year. Everyone told me voting for Bernie would be a waste of my vote. But I didn't listen. I don't think I wasted my vote personally.
This year, voter turnout has hit substantial numbers. Earlier today, Cedar Valley Today's Alyssa Kozak went out into the community of Waverly to get voters' take on the election.
So Thomas, can you tell me what was your main issue that you were looking for the candidates to target?
Well, my main issue was Donald Trump doesn't have any international experience. I mean, you can run a company, that's great, but you have to deal with other heads of state, you know? And he's never done that. I mean, his businesses, he sold them off. You're not in control of anything. He talks loud, but he's really saying nothing. And not a great Hillary fan, but got to do what you got to do.
And would you say this year's election year is completely different than years past that you voted?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, like, how did we get here? I mean, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I don't care. I don't care if they see this and Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I don't care.
People casted their votes today for the president as well as people to represent them on a local level. Last week, I talked with two candidates competing to be the Cedar Valley's voice in the Iowa's House. Let's take a look. Democrat Teresa Meyer wears work boots as she goes door-to-door campaigning to keep the middle class on her mind. She's running to represent the people in District 63 for the Iowa House.
The reason why I'm running for State Representative District 63 is because I feel that this district is severely underrepresented, and I fear for the survival of rural Iowa.
Meyer talks to voters about issues and proposes that raising minimum wage and investing money into education is key for a thriving middle class and rural Iowa.
And I want to make sure that we're utilizing our tax money properly. Make the investment in education and make the investment in job creation and putting people back to work. That's where our educational systems come into play. And quality, affordable, accessible health care for everybody, including our veterans.
On the opposite side of the ballot and political spectrum is Republican incumbent
right here, Sandy.
Salmon teams up with other Republican politicians to rally voters before Election Day.
The Republican vision, the conservative vision, is what will preserve our liberties and make our economy prosperous. That's the path that will get us there.
After 4 years of representing District 63 in Iowa's House, Salmon is running for re-election because she feels like there's more to be done.
We're certainly not in the place we want to be with our economy yet. More jobs are needed. We need tax reform. There's a lot of opportunities that need to open up yet for people in the state.
Salmon says a tight preliminary budget will make it a challenge to meet needs like education and health care in the next session. But even with being from opposing political parties, both candidates can agree that come November 8th, the bottom of the ballot for selecting local candidates is just as important as the top of the ballot. Reporting for Cedar Valley Today, I'm Kaylin Thompson.
Another local election is for Iowa Senate District 32. Brian Shane John is running for a re-election for the Senate seat. Shane John and volunteers campaigned weeks leading up to the election by making phone calls and knocking on doors. The Iowa Senate incumbent wants to remind voters that Iowa is not Washington, D.C.
But I ask folks when I go to the door, please don't forget about us down ballot, because we're the ones in the trenches. We're out here representing you. We are the ones out here in the forefront pushing for the funding of schools, for the funding of mental health, and the other important issues and job skill training that is so important to the growth and future of the state of Iowa.
And with the polls in Iowa closing at 9 o'clock and it being just 10 minutes after the hour, we have no updates for local elections. But regarding the presidential race, Donald Trump has 140 electoral votes and Hillary Clinton has 104. In the Iowa Senate race, Chuck Grassley has been named as a projected winner for that. So we will be right back. Stay with us.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words. calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you're beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. Our whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
Thanks.
Joining us now in studio is Professor of Political Science at Wartburg College, Fred Waldstein, to talk about this year's election. And so kind of tell me, how has this year's election been different than years past?
It's so different, Caitlin, in almost every respect. From the announcements of the candidates, it's been different. It looks like it's going to proceed that way right up until the very end. One of the challenges for anybody in the business of political science is that we try to look at past behavior as a predictor of trends. And this has been an election year where those trends just haven't existed, in large part because Donald Trump runs unconventional.
Okay, and so with that, I guess, how has the media kind of played a role in what the public knows about the candidates and regarding the different issues?
Well, I don't think the public knows a great deal about the issues because what the media has focused on during much of the race is the flamboyant language and the divisiveness that's arisen. To a certain extent, that's what one would expect. The media wants to create an audience, and Donald Trump knows how to say things that creates a lot of buzz, and that buzz gets covered. I think what's lost in the translation of that is, what do we really know about where the candidates stand on the issue, the very important issues we face? What does it mean to say we're going to make America great again? There's very little substance, and I think the Clinton campaign started out with more substance, but it's kind of gravitated in that same direction. Campaign gone on, and I think they probably felt they needed to because they saw how the media was reacting to the different kinds of dynamics that the Trump campaign was bringing in.
Right, and kind of talk about how maybe older generation has kind of, been affected by this election. And also you teach college students, and a lot of these college students may be first-time voters.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the difference between maybe people who have voted in past elections and people who are first-time voters, this being their very first election.
Well, it's interesting. I think there's probably less difference in some respects than there have been in the past because it is so different. Everyone's kind of confused. I mean, you expect college students to, particularly first-time voters, to kind of wonder what's going on and what's this all about. And we had the forum over in the Lyceum a little bit early on in the semester, and students asked interesting questions about the process. But, when you go out into the public and talk to some of the older people, they're just angry. They feel like since 2008 they've been left behind in large measure by the economic changes that have developed. And you hear this all the time: we want change. We're dissatisfied with the status quo. And they think that Donald Trump, more than any other candidate, represents that change that so many people seem to be looking for.
Mm-hmm. And the presidential candidates both have very strong personalities, but I guess what can you say about the role of their vice president picks?
Well, Mike Pence is a very true and tested, staunchly conservative individual. He was in Congress, and he certainly has been as governor of Indiana. What we know about the candidates, the vice presidential candidates, is they're primarily surrogate for the person at the top of the ticket, and they try to fill that role as best they can. Tim Kaine kind of came into the nomination as being one who is known as a bridge builder, who could work across the aisle with people in the United States Senate. Had that reputation when he was governor in Virginia, even back to his days in city council in Richmond. But he's actually been more of the pit bull attack dog type in this campaign, which is not unusual for the vice presidential candidate to take on that role. So in that respect, it's fairly traditional.
Right. Well, I'll be interested to see, I guess, who gets the presidential and kind of who falls with vice presidents as well. So thanks so much.
All?
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after the break.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Here at Wartburg College, students from other countries have been weighing in on this very popular election. Cedar Valley Today's Alyssa Edwards has more.
With the election this year being not like any other, people across the world have been tuning in. Countries like Russia, South Africa, India, Canada, and Great Britain have been voicing their opinions. Here's what international students at Wartburg College have to say.
What I've noticed this year, it's become very much more of a don't vote for the other person rather than a vote for me. Both of the candidates I've seen have, well, when I say I've seen, both of the major candidates are much more interested in trying to make sure people don't vote for the other candidate rather than focusing on why their strong points should get them into office.
This election is very interesting because the candidates are from a different background and different career, and the fact that there's a lot of controversial ideas and unanswered questions about the candidates makes it very much interesting.
I'm Alyssa Edwards reporting for Cedar Valley Today.
On campus, the Wartburg College Democrats have been working throughout the year, campaign for Hillary Clinton, and also help students register to vote. The Democrats hosted several speakers on campus, such as actor Sean Austin and past Olympic figure skater Michelle Kwan, to help spread their message of diversity, unity, and equal rights for all.
The United States is a nation of diversity, and it's really important that we respect those differences and make sure that we come together as one nation. I think Hillary Clinton's been speaking to the American people about these issues. I think that's why she's going to win tonight.
Meanwhile, the Wartburg College Republicans have also been hard at work throughout the year advocating for a Donald Trump presidency. President of the organization, Emily Laudner, is confident that new voters will be the key to Donald Trump winning the election.
Tuesday, November 8th is the day that I think a lot of new voters are going to come out. We've had a lot more issues come to the forefront that have sparked interest for certain groups that haven't been out to vote in the past. So I think we're going to see a lot of that coming out in the next day or so.
2016 has been a big year for millennial voters. Cedar Valley Today's Sam Sides went out on Wartburg's campus to get more student opinions about the election.
How's it going, guys? I'm at the Den, and we're about to go in and interview a few people, just basically see how they felt about the election and what's going on. How's it going? What's your name?
Emily Copeman.
Nice to meet you. And did you vote today?
Yes.
Sweet. Was this your first time?
Yes, it was my first time.
How do you feel?
I feel good.
What's your name?
I'm Patrick.
Nice to meet you. Did you vote today?
Well, I did early voting. I'm from Colorado, so.
Ah. Yeah. Is this your first time?
Yeah, for president.
How do you feel?
I don't know.
Satisfied?
No, not really.
Why's that?
I don't know. Just felt like there wasn't really a candidate that I truly thought deserved to be president.
How's it going? What's your name?
I'm Abby Klug.
Nice to meet you. So, did you vote?
I did. I had an absentee ballot a couple weeks ago.
Cool. Is this your first time?
It is.
How do you feel about it? Satisfied?
Yeah, kind of. It's a pretty big moment in your life, so definitely.
Reporting for Cedar Valley Today, I'm Sam Sides.
Great job, Sam, on getting some students' perspectives and their opinions. We'll be right back.
Son, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Now we welcome in Steph Bading, who is in charge of social media at Wartburg College in the marketing and comm department. Thanks for joining us tonight. Can you begin by saying what role social media has played so far in this election?
You know, it's really been interesting. I think it's done both good and bad things for the election. I think it's been good in giving people another way to get their voice out on maybe issues or for specific candidates that they want to talk about. The bad side is that people are able to just kind of point to the facts that they want to look at and really, especially when they are anti somebody, really just go for it against somebody, the other candidate, and it's not always been about the issues, often about the personalities and the scandals. You kind of see these memes and these things just get kind of revisited over and over again, and I feel like the actual policies issues get kind of buried underneath that because it just isn't fun maybe to talk about.
So how do you think the younger crowd, or maybe the first-time voters, have been affected by social media?
You know, younger people have really grown up with social media, so I think for them it's a very natural fit to vent their opinions and the things that they're feeling on social media. So I think it's really it's very empowering because, you know, when you say something, really anyone who's following you, anyone who's out there can see what you're saying, and you really, that voice can just go as far as you want it to go. So I do think people have younger people especially feel like they've had a chance to get their viewpoint out there. Good.
Now, should we believe everything that we're seeing on social media?
No. You know, I think what's part of what this election has brought to the forefront is a lot of times there's two different sets of facts that people want to look at. If you're with one party, you know, you kind of look at a certain set of facts and are unwilling to maybe look from the other perspective, and vice versa for the other party as well. So I feel like there's a lot of blinders on, and so yeah, you can't believe everything that's out there, especially in social. Things just come up and get rolled around and spread without any fact. That's where the danger.
Alrighty, thank you, Steph, for joining us. We'll be right back.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words. Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you are beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. Our whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
That's
In the Iowa Senate, Patty Judge leads Charles Grassley with 53% of the votes. That's still different from what we told you earlier in the show when we said Grassley was projected to win the Senate. But we'll keep an eye on that and keep you updated on social media. Rod Blum leads Monica Vernon with 53% of the votes for the House District 1 race. And in the United States presidential race, Donald Trump has 140 votes in the Electoral College, which is definitely needed to win that president's seat. And with this being such a popular election, I think a lot of people are kind of tired of it and just kind of want it to be over. But
A little bit of humor.
yeah, but so does the SNL kind of cast. So let's take a look at that.
You know what I think can help us? Let's get out of here.
What? Where will we go?
You'll see.
And now it's time to get out there and vote. None of this will have mattered if you don't vote.
And we can't tell you who to vote for, but on Tuesday, we all get a chance to choose what kind of country we want to live in.
As we continue to get more poll updates, Donald Trump, we believe now is at 150. So
Votes in the Electoral College. And it'll be interesting to see kind of how those kind of stack up against each other as the night continues to go on. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be ending around that 6 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be going all night. And so I'm interested to see how it goes.
I think a lot of people didn't expect Trump to have this much either. Thank you for joining us for this special election coverage show. We'll be back next week with more Cedar Valley Today content.
Be sure to follow us on social media for those constant updates. Good night, Cedar Valley.